Work in progress, constant improving, right?
Okay.
Yes, let's wait.
In the meantime, there's a national anthem going around.
Oh yeah, right. We hear somewhere there's like probably neighbors or so listening to the national anthem in parallel.
That's okay. Good morning, everybody.
Now I feel like Good Morning America somehow.
But
I don't know if you've ever watched this, but
I'm vaguely aware of what that is, but no, we don't need that right now.
Shall we say good morning to the world?
Good morning, world, or good evening, or good afternoon, depending where you guys are watching us. For us, it's been a very long morning already, and it's 7:01. It's 7:01.
It's 7:01. I guess it's slowly
hi,
time to kick it out. Oh, nice. Hi, Priya.
Okay,
hi,
people are slowly clicking in. I think that the 7 a.m. It's from 7 onwards. So I think that we gotta take it from there. Okay.
Well, I would say let's quickly check in, guys. Whether you're joining us from Zoom, Facebook, wherever you are.
Right.
Where are you located? We definitely have Shanghai in the house. We have Steve from Wuxi, right? Do we have someone from Suzhou?
Well, we have Priel from
California. Greetings to California. Good evening, Priya.
Good evening, Priel. And a
Where
bunch of
else?
other people that I don't know where they're from. So
Yes.
just let us know.
Eve, good morning. David, good to see you. Yana, Mark, Habi, Phoenix, Priyal, Steve, Cheng Tang.
Oh,
Chris from all the way from Australia. Jill is joining. I guess now it's time to kick it off.
It is 7:02. So
7:02. Okay, good morning or good evening to everyone, wherever you are in the world now. And as we always say, congratulations for not making excuses. Because it's just too easy. We have so many excuses on our mind all the time, whether it's late in the evening or it's early in the morning. I mean, why should we actually join? But it's all about creating good, healthy habits, being surrounded by the good and right people, right?
Absolutely.
And being more inspired and motivated. This is basically why Maria and I started Monday Morning Motivation.
True. And today, sorry, I have to do this. There we go. No, that's not how this works. Sorry, bear with us. We'll make it work. There you go. All right. And we're super happy to be first live, 2 in person,
Yay.
3 doing this. That is not your typical PPT presentation and general talking about a topic, but today we wanted to tackle a particular topic that is both dear to our heart and a little different, and it is why you don't need motivation.
Okay, before that, I gotta interrupt her. Did you guys know, and some of you have been with us now 1.5 years since we started Monday Morning Motivation.
Sure.
Did you know that this is actually the first time Maria and we literally present to you guys in person, not from quarantine, her stuck in Italy, me in China.
That's very true. That's
yes,
very true.
Exactly.
So I guess that November 9th is the day that we actually are in the same room making a speech and presenting together for the first time in our lives. So
exactly. Well done. Okay, that's the best start in the morning. Let's quickly introduce ourselves if you guys don't know us yet.
Sure.
So, Maria, who are you?
Hello.
What do you do?
Hello. So this is me. I'm Maria. I'm one half of Monday Morning Motivation. But for those who don't know, this is not what we do all day. We do this and a lot of other things. So for me, I am a mindset coach and a trainer. I work with cross-cultural communication, productivity, and communication. So I help people put their best work into the world by helping them finding clarity and structure and understanding how the world and themselves works so that they can work better with others and do their best work.
And she's also there to kick my butt sometimes when I need it, right?
I do like the accountability part of my job, which means that I get to tell people when they don't do stuff. And that's actually my favorite part. So I do that with Janine quite often.
Yes.
And, that's what the coach does, basically.
What do? I'm a peak performance coach focusing on career, life, and happiness topics with the companies and individual clients, whether they are here in China or even like from anywhere else in the world. And beyond this, I'm a soft skills trainer and founded my own company in Shanghai, China. I'm originally from Germany. Maria is originally Italian, but we say we're global citizens.
We are. We've been living abroad for long enough to think that we can deserve that.
Yes. But I guess, guys, I know you've been waiting long. Let's kick it off. And yeah, let's do it. So who's excited to learn more about why don't you need motivation? And before this, this is a little bit different than what we normally do, because we are normally here to motivate you, inspire you to have a good start in a new week.
But Janine, like when we started Monday Morning Motivation, and the idea is that motivation is a good thing, right? Because everybody wants to be more motivated. When we have people joining the community, they always say, please, I want to be more motivated. I want to be more inspired. I need you guys to share things so I get more motivated, right? Every time we have people saying, thank you for all the inspirational quotes. Thank you for motivating us. And look, we're very happy that everybody is getting value out of the community. And that's the reason why we started Monday Morning Motivation. But
yes, there is a big but. This is not enough.
Right.
And this is what we're basically sharing with you.
Right.
So how about we start with some basic definition of what exactly is motivation? Yes. We always talk about it, but what exactly is it?
Right. Because motivation sounds like an easy thing and a complicated thing at the same time. And I actually had this conversation with a friend the other day when I was trying to explain what I do and the Monday Morning Motivation Project. And she was like, but motivation, what do you mean by it? And I was like, how much time do you have? Also, join us on Monday.
Well, let's ask the internet and some really smart dictionaries.
Steal from smart people.
Exactly. So yes, what do you find about motivation? It's like the reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way.
All right.
Or they say it's the general desire or willingness of someone to do something. And a lot of other things. And here it even says a motivating force, a stimulus or influence. It sounds like there's something coming from like outside or something. This actually reminds me, Maria, how about excuses? I mean, we people are really good at making excuses, aren't we?
Gosh, we are. Like when we talk about motivation and like the whole thing about getting things done and like waking up early, the whole point of Monday Morning Motivation was for Janine basically to transform me into a morning person. She kind of managed because we got up at 5 a.m. this morning. So that happened. And I'm slowly becoming a more morning person.
She's an early bird by now, at least on Mondays.
At least on Mondays and sometimes on Fridays. But the idea is that many people like me, they think, why would I ever get up like before I need to? Why? Because I'm tired, because I want to sleep more, because I went to bed at 2 a.m. last night and so I don't really want to wake up at 6 a.m.
I have something better to do,
like sleeping, or because, I just don't want to do the things I want to do. And then we make up excuses.
Oh, and if we want to achieve our goals, even there we have a lot of excuses. Everyone normally tells, like if I ask you guys, is there any one of you who wants to be successful? If yes, raise your hand, give us a sign. Yes, or anyone who wants to be happy in their life, raise your hand. But even there,
thumbs up.
Yes, like happiness and success is so important in our life. But even there, we still come up with such a big list of excuses. I don't know about you. Maybe you're different. But we're humans.
We are. But okay, think about one thing that you want to achieve. Okay, let's say today's Monday. Okay, you probably have some things you need to do this week, right? Hopefully. And think about the most important thing you have to achieve this week. And think about how do you feel about it? Are you excited? Are you dreading it? Is that something that you need to do but you don't really want to?
Bit fearful maybe?
Right? And if so, how many excuses are you coming up with either procrastinating that, saying, I'll do it on Tuesday, or I'll do it on Thursday, or maybe I can do it next week. Like your mind, especially if it's something you don't want to do or it's something that makes you feel uncomfortable, your mind already goes to the but there's something else I could do. But I could do it later because now it's uncomfortable. And that's normal. We all do this, like it happens to us like constantly. Your brain doesn't want to do things that are uncomfortable because your brain is smart and your brain doesn't want to feel uncomfortable. But that's also how you just get stuck in one place.
And if you want to achieve more, you have to come up with things that goes beyond your motivation, because motivation is related to feelings. It's to emotions. It's very unreliable sometimes. Maybe you have experienced it, that suddenly someone sent you a negative message, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, creating some troubles, or your boss. And especially if it's in the morning, it can literally bring your good mood down. But I would say let's talk, that's enough about motivation, because we want to give you 6 tips of what you can do beyond this, and where motivation is not needed, or where motivation is a very good add-on.
Right.
And before we go into this, I quickly wanted to say again, we spoke about the motivation and the definition of motivation. Keep one thing in mind: there's also extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. So extrinsic motivation, this is something you often have at workplace, where basically the motivation comes from the outside.
Right.
It's your boss giving you more money when you achieve your goals. For example, as a salesperson, you achieve your KPIs, or you overachieve it, then you get more money, or you get a salary rise, or you get some other benefits. It's coming from the outside. Whereas the best that could be when we have motivation, it's intrinsic motivation coming from the inside. It's because you are motivated, because this thing is so important for you, not for your husband, your friends, your family, or your boss, but for you.
Absolutely.
Enough talking about this. How about we start with the 6 tips that we have for you guys?
Well, just starting from what Janine said, is that the idea that, again, Monday morning motivation, for example, is very helpful for many people because we share the quotes. But the quote itself is not what motivates you, right? The little picture is not what motivates you. One of the things that we want to start from is purpose, okay? Again, think about the things you have to do, the things you want to do. Why are you doing those things? We all have a purpose right now in our life, whether it's what we chose to, or what we think we have, or we think we haven't figured it out yet. Everybody has a purpose for getting up in the morning and to go to work and to do the work you do, and like to stay with your family, to see your friends. Sometimes that purpose is clear. Sometimes that purpose doesn't feel that clear. But the idea is that if you know why you're doing things, you're getting one step closer to achieve that intrinsic motivation. So you're not waiting for other people to tell you why that is important. You're working on why is that important for yourself. And again, if you rely on other people to tell you, do this because it's important, or like do that because that's important, things will keep changing on you, because if you listen to different people, you will find different purposes, and that just creates confusion. And I'm not saying it's easy, but we both know, and we both work with clients that, finding their purpose is so hard.
Even for us.
It's still a work in progress. But if you try and work that out every day, and like with tiny little bit of steps, you can find that aligning your purpose with what you do makes things just easier. Right?
Yes.
And in that case, you don't need to rely so much on extrinsic motivation, on things that can force you to do whatever task you need to do, because you already know that by doing that, you're moving yourself forward towards your purpose. So that's number 1.
Tip
purpose.
Number 1, write it down, Maria, purpose. Tip number 2 now, guys. This is all about your objective, and it goes back to the goals. And here it's very important. Who sets those objectives? Who sets the goals, the KPIs, key performance indicators, or the OKRs, or whatever it is? Who sets it? And again, this goes back to, if you come up with your own goals, for example, there may be a chance that you are more likely to achieve them because they're well thought through, they're probably adapted to you. But it doesn't mean that if the goals come from outside, from your boss or so, that it's not suitable. But you have to come up with, for example, SMART goals. We often train you guys also, we've done it many times, on what are SMART goals. You have to do it like when you set your goals, be S, very specific. The goals have to be measurable. It's basically you want to lose 10 kilograms of weight. Well, you know what your weight is now. You know what your weight will be, for example, in 3 months. Then smart, achievable. We want you that you challenge yourself, but those goals and objectives have to be achievable. Smart R. What was R now?
Related to your overall purpose and goals. So you have to relate.
What is your why again?
Exactly.
And it goes back to what Maria just said with the purpose. And then T, time bound. Like, for example, in 3 months on, what is it? February 9th, 2021. As specific as possible. So what, like, really be mindful about the goals that you're setting for yourself. And goals are there to be achieved.
Yes.
If you don't have goals, you can never achieve of what it is that you want.
Good point. If you don't set the goals, you'll never know when you have achieved something. So goals are extremely important. So that's
tip number two.
Tip number 3 is actually accountability.
Ooh, that's why we have coaches, for example, or we need some good friends who kick our butts sometimes.
Again, that's a little bit where Monday Morning Motivation came in. But the idea is that if you tell someone you're going to do something, so when you know your purpose, when you have your goal, if you tell someone you're going to achieve something or you want to achieve something, that gives you that extra intrinsic power to say, I said I will do it, and I am more motivated to do that. Just even if it's because you don't want to disappoint your friends or your coach or your community, that's okay. Fear of failure is actually a powerful intrinsic motivator. But the idea is that when you have someone that can hold you accountable, that helps you to actually do the thing. Because if you don't say that to anyone, you can say, well, it's not important, I will not do it. But if you have someone to kick your butt and say, well, you said you were going to do it, how is it going? Then it really motivates and like pushes you forward to actually achieve whatever you want to achieve.
And this could literally be anyone. It can be a WeChat group like MMM. It can be a Facebook group. It can be a good friend. It can be a hired coach. Anybody who is suitable.
Right.
But the problem is sometimes the people who are too close to us, they are afraid to be honest.
Yes.
Or to sometimes be a bit rougher on us, especially in our low moments.
Yes. That's why accountability should something that you design. Is not something that you just go to your friend and say, hey, in 3 days, tell me, like, remind me to do that. Like, sure, depending how good your friend is and how, what they have to do with their life, because that's not their job. That's why, accountability groups and MMM and coaches and trainings about that exist, because doing that regularly, it's more important than just having someone checking on you once every 6 months.
She just said regularly, which brings us to tip number 4, rational habits, rational, sustainable habits, routines. Basically, habits and routines are these programs that we have inside us that we do, like, it doesn't take us any energy, any time to spend on it. Why do I say rational? Because motivation, as we said, is sometimes not reliable. It's these emotions, and emotions, because we're humans, sometimes it's a roller coaster. And it's not only for women like this, for men too, okay?
I think for everybody, yeah.
Yes, so the motivation is unreliable because of emotions. But if it's like rational and you integrated these rational habits in your life, these routines like brushing our teeth. You're lazy and like still asleep in the morning, but everyone knows how to brush their teeth, even if the light is out or you're still sleepy. Sure. Or how to take a shower. And it could be exactly the same. Like if you want to, like, it is something my first coach, Susanne, actually taught me how to do. Janine, you need to take at least 15 minutes per day, that's how it started, of me time. It started as a homework that she gave me until I created my routine. And I adjusted my routine, like this morning, even if we got up at 5 o'clock, I still had my routine with gratitude journaling, with meditation, with this and this and this and this. Exercising, this is something some of you may do. whatever feels good and right for you. But do it every day, or do it like every week at the same time, the same way. It's this kind of routine that you're creating in a rational way. And if you have it as a routine, your body and mind is used to it, and you're not even questioning it. And that's the strength of routines, because it's a program, an automated program, which, yeah, is automated. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to feel too much about it.
Right. And you don't have to rely on how do I feel about this morning in order to achieve that. Because if it becomes a routine, as Janine said, you don't have to think about it. And your brain, you're not giving your brain the choice. It's like, well, this is not a choice. It's not if you like it or not. We're doing this regardless.
Yes.
And to that, it brings me to my fifth point, which is that sometimes, because we're human, we're not going to follow through. Sometimes it's going to happen that you'll make some mistake, you're not going to get up at 5 a.m. and you're not going to do everything perfectly. And you know what? That's okay, because the recovery is better than perfection.
Mm-hmm. We're always so hard on ourselves. And I mean, we're sometimes our biggest enemy. We put so much pressure on our shoulders, but yeah, as long as we continue to take action and to improve and do something, it is okay. And having a rest or something is also okay.
Right. Lately, especially during this year, because this year has been a lot for everybody, both me and Janine have been talking and have been like sharing in MMM, especially in the early part of the year, that self-care and like avoiding burnout. We've done so many talks about that. And that is something that personally I have not thought about a lot before this year. But it's becoming more and more important, at least in my life, and I think in Janine's life, and what we try to share with the community, because we see a lot like out there in the self-improvement world of like grind and hustle, and like you have to be on 24/7 because otherwise you can't achieve your goals. Like, no, we're humans. We need rest. We need proper food, we need exercising, we need off time, we need to give our brain a time to process. We live in a world where there's so much information that if we stay on 24/7, our brain will literally not have enough power to process all of that.
And also to let your inner child play sometimes.
Very true. All work is not good for anybody. So recovery is important, because if you quote unquote fall off the wagon and you don't follow through with your routines, because regardless how strict your routines are, sometimes it doesn't work. It's okay, as long as you take some time, reassess, and then get back to it, because nothing ever is going to be perfect, and that's okay. And
Chris, thanks for agreeing with us, for your comment. Oh, sorry, Maria.
That's okay. Thank you, Chris. And then we come to the last point.
Last but not least, it's about discipline. I know this disagrees a little bit of what we just said, not really disagrees, but at the end, like, discipline is a skill that you can learn. Well, I guess that's something what often like people mirror me. They think I'm very, very disciplined, especially when I get up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock to get things done. But this is something my mom, she raised me like this. Like, as some of you may know, like, I have a bit of Russian blood inside me. That's the military style, like my Russian military background. So discipline is important. This is how I got raised. Here in China, we also like it. This is something we can also learn from Chinese. Many of you guys are very, very disciplined. I'm not saying Europeans, Americans, we can't be disciplined. Don't get me wrong. I'm just telling you, a lot of people who are disciplined, they can achieve a lot more. And the cool thing is, it is a skill you can learn. Absolutely. Some of you have definitely served for the military in whatever country you live in. So you would know that, right? Like, everything starts with discipline. And this is exactly the same. In those moments when motivation like fails, there's basically all these things that we have just shared. And at the end, it also like there is discipline that you can learn how to be disciplined.
Joining Monday Morning Motivation every Monday is a form of discipline.
Oh yeah, like David. Like David is with us like every single Monday at David. 7 o'clock, right? No excuses.
And it doesn't matter what you choose to practice your discipline on. As Janine said, it's a skill. So you can't say, I'm not disciplined, I will never be able to do that. Because with practice and with setting the right habits, everyone can get more discipline. And this is the way that you can get around to, today I don't feel like doing anything, or today I'm not motivated to do that big proposal, or I'm not motivated to go running because I said I would, but I don't really feel it. And again, sometimes it happens, but if you have a purpose and you want to achieve your goals, and you have told someone you will achieve your goals, and you're setting up rational habits, and you accept that they're not going to be perfect all the time, but you're always going to get back on track, and you work on your discipline, then motivation is just going to be an extra thing that makes you feel better, but you're not going to depend on it.
Exactly. And with this,
That's
guys, we hope this was helpful for you. We're now opening the stage, Facebook, Zoom, wherever you guys are. Ask us any kind of questions, or maybe you have some sharing. The stage is yours now.